evening, all of you. I hope I'm saying good evening to all of you. So I'm talking to everybody who's having a evening time only at this home. Couple of quick ideas. First of all, taking an advanced placement and that too starting the discussion with calculus, which actually happens to be one of the most least opted type of APs. Reason is very simple. It is a very important framework or benchmark for any study persuasion or something else that you want to plan ahead in terms of maybe engineering or maybe advanced sciences, because if you want to do any of these courses, calculus is the prerequisite. So when I say prerequisite, means obviously we are talking about a very tough area of examination. Maybe yes, you can say it's a tough area of examination, but is it actually very difficult to prepare for it? We'll talk about that also in our subsequent presentation. How do we plan it? That also I'll talk about in the presentation. As far as a part of this theory is concerned, that how much it is essential for our future preparation, I think that is something which Abhinav sir would have already addressed about how to plan a AP and which AP should you take. So I'm not going to talk much on it. I'll come to the technical details of the AP calculus straightforward, right? So as we already know, right, there are two types of calculus that we are talking about, right? One is AP calculus AB and one is AP calculus BC. For any person who has to understand the difference in the two, I'll give you a simple solution out here. Understanding is that when you go to a college, you go for a semester study. So if you're looking for advanced credits for only first semester mathematics, then you go for AB, right? That's a basic idea, right? And if you want advanced credit for both first and second semester, right, then you have to go for a BC. So the basic idea is very simple. A student is scored separately on the two scales. If you want to take a separate test, you can take only AB. That will give you advanced for one semester. And if you take BC, a BC calculus is always given a subscore with AB also. So you get an advanced credit in both semester one as well as semester two. Where do the two paper differ? I think it's not about exactly the toughness level. It is about the content that is there in the syllabus, right? For example, if somebody is going for a AB calculus, right? So normally AB calculus covers mostly what you study in school, like in terms of calculus. So 11th plus 12th class calculus, top up with some application areas additional forms what is the AB, right? So AB is broadly school calculus. It is not going to go much beyond that, right? Uh, BC calculus is higher calculus area, which actually is what all higher sciences and higher engineering will be talking about, right? So technically, BC calculus needs a lot of extra prep over the school preparation. Normally, a school preparation can be a good idea just for staying in an AB calculus prep, right? But if you want to go for a BC, you have to go for a higher order preparation. Only school studies will never be sufficient for you, right? So technically, most of the students who go for a calculus prep normally go for a BC prep. Reason is very simple. They take a chance on both the semesters together. And if they miss out somehow on BC, any which ways, they're always getting a subscore of AB, which helps them to get advanced credit for the first semester at least. So if you're also planning to take a calculus AP, please try to go for a BC, more recommended from most as compared to AB. Again, it totally depends on your choice. Point number two, as I was talking the difference in the areas, I think your college board website already talks about the details, syllabus details. So I'm also sure if you have registered for it or if you're planning to register, you should at least go to college board website once and try to see the syllabus comparison. Now, the second perspective that comes to a student's mind is how this AP calculus different from what exactly are the other international examinations. I'll give you two quick ideas. First of all, understand this is broadly for all APs. What is it? APs are for college syllabus, right? So technically what happens in a school syllabus and a college syllabus is the markings change, the scoring change. For example, a school aspirant will always have a very high score in school examination, means he always expect that I'll get some 95 or 100 marks out of 100 in my math section scores, or I will get a A plus type of grades always in the section scores. So for that, I need to have a very high score in the paper. Whereas college, it's reverse. A very good score in a college is as good as getting a 60 to 65%. So technically, please understand what happens when the syllabus becomes broad, the scoring becomes less. So technically, if somebody is preparing for an AP, please, he should always keep in mind that we are preparing for a college examination, and college level examination means a low scoring paper. It is never a high scoring paper. That's a point number one. Please keep this in your mind always, right? Second thing is quickly talking about the concept of paper. Like, a lot of questions coming to me, right? That when we are preparing for it, how the college and school differ. I'll tell you that one reason. When you're preparing for school, calculator is mostly available for all the students who are into IB boards, etc. Right? Obviously, CBSE students and the other board students do not have the access to it, but the Mostly the school stuff is calculator oriented, but when it comes to APs in calculus, two-third paper is to be done without calculator, and only one-third paper you got a support of calculator available. So for preparing for it, there is a first change that has to come to your approaches. You need to be less calculator friendly for AP calculus as compared to what other exams recommend. For example, if you're trying for any other examination, calculator is available throughout the paper, statistics or physics or whatever, right? But calculus is more of non-calculator exam as compared to calculator exam. So fundamentally, that's the first change that you have to do in your process. You need to be very clear fundamentally in what is your approach to the paper. That I say, don't be too much dependent on the calculator. Although last 2 years have been fortunate for the students, as you know, I don't know, unfortunate for the world, but fortunate for the students, they'll be doing papers of APs from home, right? So when they're doing AP papers from home, the calculator was allowed throughout the paper. But again, this year we are expecting 100% that the papers will be going back to the school system. So definitely you're going to have the paper two-third without calculator. So please, all of you, make yourself ready for that. That calculator is not a stuff. Second thing is school examination normally tests you a lot on basics, right? Basics as in basics, right? So the questions are not very tough. When it comes to the AP in the examination section of AP in the calculus part, it becomes a tougher examination. Trust me on that fundamental. If you are not good with fundamentals, you're not able to survive in a BC calculus. That's very, very sure. Now, when I say fundamentals, I'll just give you a quick idea what fundamentals should be absolutely clear for a student who's preparing for a BC calculus. Number one, he should be absolutely fantastic with trigonometry. Trigonometry forms the entire backbone of the calculus. Second area that you should always be good about is the concepts of logs and exponentials. You should be very, very good in these two areas. And then, of course, third area is you should have a basic understanding of coordinate geometry. You should be able to understand what is parabola, what is ellipse, what are hyperbolas, type of equations, which is normally 11th grader knows about. If you are able to get through these three, right, this is what we call as pre-calculus, right? So in the pre-calc section, you should be through with this along with the concept of functions. A person should be good with the concept of functions, domain, range type of theories. If you're done with this, then you're absolutely ready to go on to the prep of AP calculus. Come to the next point, right? I'll talk about more. Paper pattern, quickly talking about it, right? 45 questions, multiple choice, and 6 questions FRQ. Again, something available on the college board. I'm sure you would also have access to it. Out of this 45 questions in MCQ, 30 questions are non-calculator and 15 questions are calculator based. Here again, in this 4 questions are non-calculator and 2 questions are with calculator. So again, you can see the 2/3, 1/3 split is clearly defined, which I was talking about to all of you. Another perspective that you can look out here is 30 questions non-calculator. The time allowed is 60 minutes. And surprise, surprise, 15 questions non-calculator. A student should expect less time. You get more time available out here. So that again clearly says that the calculator, what part calculator plays in the examination, you in fact get more tougher questions when it comes to calculator support for you. Whereas I hope you can understand the 2 minute per question and 3 minute per question theory I'm talking about it, right? So you got more time available with the calculator as compared to non-calculator section. So that's one thing. These 45 questions will be scaled up by 1.2 factor. That means this entire score would be converted to a score of 54. Whereas this 4 questions of non-calculator and 2 questions of calculator, the FRQs, you get 15 minutes each. So you get a 60-minute here and a 30-minute here, makes a 90-minute of FRQs. So you can see already one more challenge has come to us, that we are looking at a paper which is 105 plus 90, that is 195 minutes long. So we're looking at a 3-hour, 15-minute paper, which is longer than normally any other APs that you talk about. So it's a long paper, and that makes it even tougher. You're talking about 195 minutes of pure calculus, nothing else. It's pure calculus, so be careful about it. So that's a challenge point too, right? Which I was talking about, right? Coming back to the theory. So here there are 6 questions. Each is marked by 9 marks. So this is also 54 marks. So I hope you can understand what is it, that we got a 50% weightage for MCQs. We got 50% weightage for FRQs. That's an absolutely equal weightage paper. A person who wants to score a good mark set will be scored on a scale of 108. And our past record and experience shows us that any score of 70 plus guarantees a 5 to you. So that's a basic idea. You can already see what I was talking about, right? 70 out of 108 makes a 2/3 score, right? That's a 65% is a smart score enough to get a 5 grade for yourself. So please keep this point also in mind. A low scoring examination with toughness level getting high, but the scoring becoming low makes it very easy for you. Um, the interesting second part which I'd like to cover in this, the trying to wind up the theory back, right, is what are the challenge areas, right? As I told you already, the topics which will challenge you the most. For a AB student, it's also always going to be differentiation. So if you have to be good in AB, you please be ready with differentiation. Differentiation plays all the part. If you're good, want to be good in BC, the strong area has to be integration. And then there are certain topics which contribute big way, like sequences and series, which has never been done in the school effectively. This contributes to 17 to 20% of your examination pattern part, right? And this is where the students normally suffer the most. This is the very challenging portion of BC. This is where students struggle a lot. But again, talking it out, ultimately a good prep will always help you to work on it, right? So that's the second thing, right? These are the two challenging areas: integration and sequences series for a BC student. Coming to the preparation, how do we prepare? How do we plan it? I think a good strategy to plan AP calculus would be will take around 4 months for you. So please, all of you, start working on it immediately, because that's what hardly the time is left in front of you, including your examinations and everything. Second important thing is going to be the publications and all that to buy. I will recommend that you get a good book of Barron's or TPR, whatever you want to get hand on. Free resources are also available. You get the PDF formats of all these booklets, but again, that is not recommended, because ultimately the problem is, um, if I get a book in hard copy, I'll prepare better. That's the first thing. The paper also happens to be in hard copy. So my advice to everybody has been to stick to the hard copy process, right? Second important thing is, if you want to go for preparation, the most challenging part is going to be solving tests. So if you have not solved sufficient past test papers, you will not be able to crack the AP. That is very sure. What I mean is that solely and purely depending on the module, that is simply put, if you just go through the module and you take a booklet, and if you feel that after solving it I'll be able to crack the paper, unfortunately, I will be very clear about it, the paper cannot be solved using that. If you want to solve the paper, the only way to practice it, to practice at least last 15 to 20 years of actual AP papers, right? Resources are available across. You people try to rope in. That's what is the basic recommendation from my side. So your prep should be smartly planned. You should actually do 2 months of preparation, at least on the theory, first of all, followed by at least 2 months of solving test papers. If you've done this, trust me, getting a 5 is an absolutely comfortable thing on a paper of AP calculus. So broadly, these are the broader areas which I can talk about, ma'am, actually. Ma'am. So anything else which students would like to ask? It's a very small session, so I'll not like to go into the nitty-gritties further. One last thing I'd like to add out here, please understand that APs, in fact, that's an international examination, all of them work along in graphs, right? And that is where the students of India normally struggle, right? We Indian students normally struggle because we are not done that much of graph work in the school examination, right? So please, 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 when you're preparing for it, focus a lot on the graphical analysis of every question. That will give you wonderfully easy answer. Absolutely fine. This is the right time to start. This is high time. 19th November is, I know, ideally we are 4 months to 5 months away from the examination. Any prepping or thinking beyond this will be a major detrimental factor to them, number one. Number two, which I believe is also important, as the registrations are closing. So I think they should take this up immediately, ma'am, because after that, the register, many students who start preparing later on realize I don't have a slot to give the paper. So that is something they should take care of it.